So rares on Animal Jam. Whether you love or hate them, you definitely have some of them, and they are a crucial part in Animal Jam's history and its ever so questionable economy on the game, being the main reason on why trading is a feature in the game in the first place. Trading was introduced back in 2011 and became the most popular feature in the game and the most used feature in the game as soon as it was added. It gave users a opportunity to trade for items they missed out on in previous months of the game that they weren't playing for, or just didn't take the opportunity to buy the item when it was available in stores. It wasn't until the following year, I would say, in 2012, where the game actually started to develop an economy and actually have the introduction of the rare tag for items on the game. But as Animal Jam has progressed through the years, the economy has grown alongside with it, where nowadays there's an entire set system where items are measured in certain items, whether it be black longs, clothing betas, den betas, diamonds, you name it. But it wasn't always this way. Matter of fact, back in 2011, it was just kind of whatever you felt was fair for the trade, was what the worth of items were. So I thought I'd take today's video to take a look back in time, where we're going all the way back to 2011 to look at some old Animal Jam trades. But not just that, we're also going to be going throughout the years up until 2020 to see how Animal Jam's economy has evolved over time and some of the worths of these items have changed. Where some of these trade attempts will be making you question, why didn't that person accept that trade? It is incredibly over. And some of them will be making you question, that person is so stupid for accepting that trade. Why didn't they decline? But you guys know me, I'm a sucker for nostalgia on this channel, especially when it comes to old Animal Jam trading, so this is a perfect video for this. Before we do hop into it, just briefly mentioning the light pink headdress giveaway going on the channel. You know the typical giveaway spiel for the comments entries below, but you can also check the description for extra entries. But without further ado, let's get into the video. Okay, here we are starting out in 2011. Now, this is kind of a hard year to find a lot of trade attempts. Actually, the first 3 years on the game, there's hard to find trade attempts or just trading proofs or anything like that. Because where a lot of people were also just not recording Animal Jam videos back then, they weren't titling them like, oh, me trading on Animal Jam or Animal Jam rare trading attempts, that kind of stuff, where it was just thrown into videos randomly, titled different things, or they titled the video after a specific item, where YouTube doesn't show it when actually using its search algorithm, so it's really complicated. But this video specifically here, I just wanted to show for one reason, and that is the fact that I declined a headdress for a clover blanket. I'm pretty sure you probably saw it right here. I'm probably going to choose this as a thumbnail option for the video because this is just so funny. A clover blanket for a headdress and also a head feather, both rare items nowadays. This guy declined it. Now, mind you, this is in, I believe, November of 2011, meaning these items just came out in stores, which you'll be seeing in like 2011 and 2012. A lot of people are wearing headdresses in these videos. Like here, a lot of people are wearing headdresses right here. And that's because they just came into stores. But you'll notice in like around 2014 or around that period, there'll be a lot less headdresses showing up in the videos because, I mean, people just didn't really care. But back then, like, there was very, very few items in the game. So anything that new came out, people were just accepting. This trade is kind of insane here, though. Bubbletrons. It's kind of an obscure rare item, but they're worth like a good long or bad long or something nowadays. They're trading 4 of them for a heart balloon, a seasonal item. But back then, I guess monthly member gifts were the kind of main rare item, or just member items in general were pretty rare to a lot of people, and seasonal items, because you got to keep in mind, this is like very early on stages of Animal Jam's trading system. You know, it's just whatever items you really wanted was going to be considered fair. So, I mean, that's 2011. There's not really much else to say or cover on it. I couldn't find too many videos just based off of how YouTube's algorithm is, and also just a lot of the old videos that might have been up are taken down, unfortunately. You know, a lot of these old people that uploaded these videos, they took them down years later because they didn't want them up anymore, unfortunately. Understandable, but is it like a lost relic now? Oddly enough, I could barely find anything from 2012 either. I don't know if it's just YouTube messing with me or what, but this is the only video I could find that was actually just like kind of funny. The whole comment section of this video is like just full of people insulting the guy because he got a headdress for a plushie. And no, not the gecko plushie on screen, like a literal plushie that you could get from the claw machine, a bunny plushie. This right here, this is the trade, and they accept. Apparently it might have been his sister or something, I don't know. Either way, it's just so funny. I had to include it, but maybe you guys will get a good kick out of that too. But this was like a year after headdresses were added to the game. I'm pretty sure Animal Jam already came out and said like, yo, we're not gonna release headdresses again because everybody like threw a fit about it. You know, they had a lot of parents call up saying they didn't want them in the game and stuff. So I'm kind of surprised this trade even exists, and like a lot of other trades that will be kind of questionable for headdresses will come up. But yeah, that's 2012, I guess. I'd expect more because, you know, the leap year party in 2012, but I couldn't find any. me, so kind of sucks. Yeah, here we have 2013 now. Starting out here with the first headdress-based trade. This was the trade here. There was 2 lion plushies there. I don't know if you caught it. There was 2 lion plushies, or well, one is an epic plushie, but also 2 gloves. One was spirit glove and one was a lava glove. These were both monthly member. Actually, 3 of these were monthly member gifts. This was just in the claw machine. I don't think it was available in the regular claw that you could play in the Soul Arcade or the rare claw machine den item. It was only available in the 2012 leap year party. I believe that's where lion plushies were only available for. So they were considered like a den beta back in the day, and definitely for this trade. And then like monthly member gifts were just always considered pretty good no matter what, especially the longer time it's passed since they did it. But this is like the first time someone probably made like a headdress trading video back in 2013. So they got a tan headdress, and this is by Love With Songs, who I'm pretty sure became a Jam ambassador at some point. I don't know if they did or not, but they don't play anymore. But you know, congrats on the headdress if you still have it. She probably doesn't. And here's I think this guy just had scary bat wings and pirate swords on trade, which, you know, a lot of people consider clothing betas, like warm blankets, fox hats, all that stuff, like pirate swords and bows and stuff. Nowadays, they're like worthless almost. They're like worth a diamond each, maybe. Back then, these were like the rarest of rare items. Scary bat wings, freedom wings, like the whole entire freedom set. This trade in general is really funny to look at. A headdress and an epic plushie, which these were really sought after when they first got into the game, because you actually had to buy the epic plushies to get them, or a pirate sword, and this person declined it. It's just so funny to look at. And like this video here as well, like a rim headdress for their claw machine, they declined this as well. I'm pretty sure that's it from like the 2013 period I wanted to show, but I'm surprised this person didn't accept this one here. Actually, light pink headdress, they got a pirate sword and freedom wings. It wasn't until like late 2014 I think headdresses actually started to gain worth. Maybe they were worth more than like clothing beta at this point in the game, but it wasn't until like late 2014 until like people started to realize headdresses are actually good, guys. We should have been accepting these trades. Now here, I think this is 2014. Yes, these are kind of just random trades that I've picked up here. This was probably around where light pink headdresses were worth like long collars now, you know, and all the other headdresses actually were worth like long collars. They weren't exactly black longs just yet, but they were getting there for sure. And obviously light pink was established as the rarest from the get-go, but like even there, I'm pretty sure founders hats weren't the rarest anymore like in previous years. Like in 2011, the founder was considered one of the rarest items in the game. I think by 2014 or 2015 it was like a blue long, and that person just declined that there. Even look at this trade here, like a black Warren, purple beta tail, a lava glove. I'm pretty sure the lava gloves are good now for a den beta, and they declined this. Or even look at this trade here, a mummy glove and a silver party hat for a rare mech angel helmet that I'm pretty sure is in the daily spin now, and they declined it. And this person even added a fox hat. Like they really wanted this, and this person just kept declining. I don't understand this person actually. I'm pretty sure this would have been over back then if they were to actually trade it. Maybe this guy was doing trade attempts and they're just like really loyal to the trade attempts, but I would have accepted this personally back in 2014. And I think this is this is like one of the very few videos I showed like of a trading proof video rather than a trading attempt video. This person actually took this trade: a black top hat, a lava glove, a purple long, and a blue long wrist. Top hats were no longer rare at this period of time. I really wish I could show more videos of like top hats being rare, but most people that had top hats back then, like 2011 and 2012 when they were super rare before Hatapalooza, they didn't make videos trading them, so it's unfortunate. But this is like post Hatapalooza, so like top hats weren't as rare anymore, so that's why it was in this trade. But I'm pretty sure pink tikis are really rare now, rarer than the last time I checked. I don't really keep up with animaljam worth too much nowadays, but obviously this would be a gross under trade now. Also, I'm a liar, this is another kind of trading proof, and look at that old Skype layout. It's funny. Yeah, that's what we used before Discord, guys. We used Skype, and that person's inventory is full, so they didn't accept the trade here. But they got this for a black long, by the way, because the video cut weirdly. I'm pretty sure they paused it until they accepted it properly. They got a red long, planet walls, which I'm pretty sure Eagle Adventure was already in the game at this point, so these weren't rare anymore, or as rare. A purple party hat and a rim HD, which obviously gross over trade nowadays. But a bit on like planet walls and like other beta walls and floors, like they used to be like incredibly rare in the game. Like Spaceship Gray, that was like one of the rarest den items in the entire game, and I don't think a lot of people actually remember that. And unfortunately there isn't like too many trades to go for those even back then. These are just like a bunch of trade attempts here. A green party hat right there, and just add on to everything else in the trade. Like obviously very super over for yellow long, and then like, you know, beta tail here at the next trade here. A magenta headdress for a yellow long. I'm pretty sure this would have been fair at the time, so surprised I didn't accept that trade, to be honest, but I think that's where that video ends. And we have one more video from 2014 where it is person trading a founder hat for a blue long, which I don't know what founders are worth nowadays. I'm assuming they're above a black long at the very least. This was like a really weird time period of Animal Jam where like everything was all over the place, and it just kind of gets worse from here, actually, to be honest. You guys have it very lucky where everything's so structured now. Back this time period on Animal Jam, everything was all over. Worths fluctuated so much more than they do now. It was just a headache and a half for sure. All right, here we go. This is where headdresses started to get like pretty popular amongst the community. This was for a blue headdress trade attempts video. This is also where trade attempts started being pretty popularized in the community. Thank God. Easier for me to search up here. Just kind of letting this play as I'm talking here, but you'll notice they don't have the rare tag. I don't think they got a rare tag until about 2017, I believe it was, or maybe 2018. But that really solidified like, oh yeah, headdresses are never coming back to store. But a lot of these trades here, I'm just mostly seeing tan kind of makes sense on why a tan is like the least rarest, I'm pretty sure. Just most people just trying to trade up their headdress to, you know, the second rarest, the blue one here, and then, you know, also people just trading junk to try to get their first one. But we see a tiki mask there. That's pretty rare to see in these videos. Always like a pretty underwanted item back then even, which, you know, kind of sucks. You know, tikis are cool. Also, looking back at a lot of these trades, you'll notice how glitchy a lot of the trading is, like with the animal display, and they're displaying their usernames and stuff. And I think this is when you could only still trade 4 items at a time, by the way, which is, you know, might be foreign to a lot of you watching. You know, you could only trade 4 items at a time back then, compared to the 20 trades you can trade now. And this one is from Apari here, this video here, of a glitch ring trade attempts, which these were also getting pretty rare in 2015, thanks to a bunch of people, you know, collecting and recycling them, which that actually reminds me, I wanted to make a video talking about times people have done that, because people have done that with so many items. I thought there is a opportunity to make a video there. So if you guys want me to make a video on that and certain items that's happened to, do let me know. But this is also the year Apari kind of broke out onto YouTube and did his thing. So that was pretty cool as well. But a lot of trading here with a lot of headdresses being traded around. These very quickly became some of the most sought after items in the game. And I guess they kind of are still now. You know, personally, I never really saw the appeal behind headdresses. I don't really care too much about them, so I don't really mind too much. My kind of rares were right here, the River Race. This I'm pretty sure is still in the diamond shop. Yeah, it used to be worth fairer than a red tiki. You wouldn't even think about that, but yeah, that's the last trade here from 2015, and we'll kind of move on to 2016 now. Now here we have a trade attempts video for a light pink headdress. Just, you're only gonna see people trying to trade up here. Maybe you can distinguish like, oh, you know, that person should have accepted those many headdresses for that light pink. I'm not too sure what the gap between the headdresses are now. I'm pretty sure it's just like usually like a few solids in between. Pretty sure back now or back then in 2016, it wasn't as big. I think it maybe been a solid in between. They were even worth solids then on the lower end of the headdresses. But yeah, it definitely seemed like she was considering that silver and black headdress trade there. I don't know if that showed up on the video, but we'll move on to this video here. This is also from Apari, coming in clutch for once. Thank you, dude. This is a trade attempt for every headdress, just kind of let people trade for every single color. He had them all on trade, and he just took offers from all of them. Seeing mostly orange headdress being traded for. I don't know why. Maybe people just really like orange. A tan tiki mask there. Oh my god. Yeah, tan tikis were about as rare as a light pink back then, I guess. I don't know, those will always be iconic to me personally, but a full party set almost there for a black headdress, and that was declined. A lot of long collars. I mean, yeah, this is like, okay, wow, that's like a lot even for then. This really goes to show how different it is now. I think this year really hones it in for me, how different it is, considering especially in 2021 for Animal Jam, like some of these items were worth like 70 black longs, and like you can see some of these trades being considered for like just a few of them. It's like so crazy to think. Now here we're on 2017. I think it was late 2016, 2017 where duping started being an issue. So there are some people with magenta items that you probably haven't heard names of because they probably had a duped magenta item. I don't know if this person in specific had a duped collar here, but they definitely don't have it anymore. Not like they would anyway. It's from 7 years ago now, almost 8 years ago. So you can kind of garner some of the worths for some of these magenta items. They weren't worth like as much as they are now, surprisingly. Like a magenta furry hat. I don't know how much magenta furries are now, but I don't even know how much short collars are worth now. Well, I'd want to say maybe like 10 to 20 black longs worth they might have been back in 2017. And it's probably 10x that now, to be honest. But I mean, this guy's trading 2 alpha swords. Those were pretty rare back then, to be honest. Guy trading 2 black headdresses, a black headdress and a light pink headdress, and a magenta furry and a bunch of headdresses down there. That would definitely be an overtrade nowadays. Okay, flat out. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe these were like pretty sought after. Maybe these were just bad trade attempts. But these, like the 7th dwarf here, I do recall this name. You know. This was for magenta cat ears, which I'm definitely gonna assume these were duped at the time, given it was 2017. But these are obviously gross under trades, even for now. Like this is like extremely under. Oh, I love plaques so much. I would have accepted that. Not because it's like fair or anything, but just because I love plaques. There's like a bunch of headdresses there, a bit of blankets. I mean, a lot of these trades just aren't going to be comparable to what it's worth nowadays, unfortunately. Like even for the time, it was pretty bad. And this was like even when cat ears were a lot more frequent in the game. You know, nowadays it's like only 4 or 5 pairs in the game. Back around this time, there was a lot more, to say the least. Now here is a trade from 2018. This is for a magenta headdress trade attempt video. Gonna have to assume some of these are fake. Not gonna lie. Don't think that magenta furry trade was real. Maybe it is though. Maybe magenta furries just really fell down a whole lot. But I think bats trade attempts were kind of known to be trolls a lot of the time. Definitely some kind of worth manipulation going on there. Okay, maybe this trade wasn't good to show. Maybe this video wasn't good to show. Definitely some of these are questionable. Black socks used to be rare. That's something to note. But I'm seeing a lot of magenta furry trades, so this is kind of suspicious. I think 2018 is definitely the year I've spent the most away from the game, at least during like the middle part of the year anyway. We also have our first trade attempt video here for pets, hedgehogs. These were pretty rare when they first got into the game, and they kind of died down in rare like worth for a while, and then now it's just like explosive still, I'm pretty sure. Hedgehogs and like doves, and even that other weird looking pet that I don't know the name of. I was never a big pet person, not gonna lie. If I ever had like a hedgehog or a dove or whatever other options are there, it's because I either made it or somebody gave it to me. So I was never like going on my way to try to trade for one. But I guess they were like at most worth like a solid or 2 back then, where comparison to nowadays it's like 50 to 100 worth, and maybe even more than that if it's like something tailored towards you. This trade is kind of insane though. I'm pretty sure black socks was pretty good still. Maybe like a solid worth in 2018. 2016, it was entirely different question though. Yeah, this really kind of shows the kind of future to come anyway for the worth of pets, I think. Now here we have 2019. This is for a white beta tail. This is from Bats again. I kind of just went through the first few pages when I was searching up by year on the YouTube side of things, and chose a handful. I only have 2 here for 2019. I thought I would do white beta tail or like a beta tail, an item that isn't like a headdress or like an item you would think anyway, just to switch things up a bit. There's just so many headdresses in the video. Like as I said, there's a headdress right there, just as I'm saying that. Well, I'm pretty sure white beta tails always kind of remain the same value they are, like same with like a lot of the other white beta tails, or other beta tails I should say. They've always kind of stayed true to the value that's been set for the last few years for them, maybe changing a little bit sometimes, but in comparison to other items, like they always go up and down. Like light pink headdresses like were worth like 100 or more at some point, I'm pretty sure. You know, telling that to me in like maybe 2016, I wouldn't have believed you, because I think it was 2016 or 2017 light pink headdresses were only worth like 4 black longs in comparison to now. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, 3 solids, that's kind of like what I assume to be what it's worth nowadays. As I said, I don't keep up with Animaljam Rare too much anymore. Okay, this is obviously a troll trade. Bats is so bad for doing that, by the way. I definitely know it's just to farm engagement, but that is just too funny. Like, it also is so bad because nobody's gonna walk away thinking white beta tails are worth that, but like the video, it isn't it's not advertised as like being a troll video in any way. It's like fully serious looking, so I just think that's funny. Oh, that would include another pet video here. This is as a following year just to see, you know, they obviously got a little bit rarer, you know. This is like a pretty good trade, you know, light pink headdress, white beta tail, founder hat there, bunch of promo items. You'll see a bunch of promo items in a lot of these trades as well because, you know, a typical trend back then, and I even say it would probably be true to now if they still did promo items. People just traded a bunch for them. They were always like super rare when they came out, and then they kind of stabilized a little bit afterwards. But I mean, that could be said for a lot of these pets here as well. Like a lot of people traded a bunch for them. They kind of went down, and then well, nowadays they're worth a lot more. So if you got it in that downtime, good job. Oh, that brown hedgehog is actually pretty cute. I wouldn't trade for it. Definitely not trading a kidney for it, but it's still pretty cute. Yeah, it really, you know, that's an ugly otter though. I will say that. That's a nice hedgehog. Look, I'll move on to the next year because I'm just gonna end up rating every pet that shows up here in this trade. But I'll leave a lot of these linked in a playlist down below if you want to fully immerse yourself in these years, because I'm skimming through some of these, just watch time and stuff. But you can explore them to your heart's content below. But we'll move on to the last year now. Now here in 2020, it seemed like trade attempts kind of died. Like I looked up Animal Jam trading, searched by year and stuff, and mostly it was just trading proofs rather than trade attempts, which is kind of unfortunate. Also goes to show how much seals ended up being worth. Really does not grind my gears whatsoever. Totally. Oh no, I see the appeal on other pets. Seals though, I definitely do not. I don't like seals whatsoever. Call me a boomer or like a screaming old guy, you know, stuck in my old Animal Jam rare ways. I don't know, but I'll never get the hype behind it. Yeah, trade attempts kind of like became more obscure. I think even nowadays, I don't know if many people really do trade attempts anymore. It's kind of unfortunate, but I mean, I guess people are probably more interested in people actually completing the trades rather than just trade attempts, because maybe trade attempts became kind of redundant after, you know, the item worth wiki kind of took over fully in people's listing of worth, you know, kind of trying to garner what items are worth, you know. But we'll finish off here. Trade attempt for magenta seal. If you don't know, actually fun fact, I was the one that broke the news about the magenta seal way back in 2019, I think it was. Yeah, I was that guy back then. Now I'm a washed up Animal Jam YouTuber, nostalgia farming. Hail oldest time. But yeah, the magenta seal here definitely was worth like I think 4 solids. I think it was a stable worth for it when it first got released, and I don't know how much it's worth now, but I don't think it's too much in comparison to normal seals anyway, or any of the other rare pets. So pretty cheap in comparison, but still like pretty overpriced for my liking. But yep, that's the final year. Gonna wrap it up here though, guys. Hopefully you guys did enjoy that. Maybe you find it somewhat as entertaining as I did making this video. That really goes to show Animal Jam's economy is just really bad. Okay, that's what I'm taking away from this video. Maybe you'll take away something different. Yeah, I think for the member only cut for this video, I'll maybe react to some of the videos or trades from 2021 to 2023, maybe 2024 as well. I didn't include too many or include any from those years for this video because I thought it would be too recent. But maybe in 2021 compared to now anyway, the worths would be a lot different. Probably the biggest difference in any years, actually. You guys let me know. But speaking of members, thank you guys for supporting the channel. All you beautiful people on screen right now. If you want to consider joining as a member to, you know, just support the channel, get some bonus perks like videos and highlighted comments, emojis, all that kind of fun stuff, as well as your name here at the end of the video, then definitely do consider hitting that join button down below. It is greatly appreciated and does help me make these videos at a more consistent rate and stuff. But yeah, that's gonna wrap it up here. As I said, more of a chillaxed video for today, but I always do love making videos talking about old Animal Jam stuff. So if you guys want to have any suggestions as well, do let me know. But I'm gonna end it out here for now, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.